The Dune Awakening beta weekend is behind us, and now all eyes are towards the future. The launch of Dune Awakening happening in June. June 10th is the general release with Head Start access starting on June 5th. And I've had a lot of questions. Renfail, are you going to be forming a guild? What server are you going to be rolling on? What are your plans? What's your schedule going to be? Let's talk about that so that those of you who want to do some group-based content and who want to continue the journey together, we can do so in a calm, relaxed, casual manner because I am a very relaxed, casual Care Bear person when it comes to playing these types of games. So, first and foremost, June 5th, I'll be starting as soon as the servers are up that day. Assuming they do the same thing they just did with the beta weekend, servers, everything was available at 6 a.m. local time, Central Time. Like we were able to start downloading, and I think I was in the game within like 30, 45 minutes. So as soon as the servers are up on the 5th, I will be in the game, playing the game. At that point in time, we will be able to make our server selection, and I will choose a siege, and you will all be able to see that because I will be live streaming my entire journey. After that, the schedule currently is June 5th through the 13th. I will only be playing Dune Awakening. If there's anything left to finish up, because I'm starting Tainted Grail on the 23rd of May, if there's anything left to finish up of Tainted Grail by the time we get to June 5th, that'll be like in the afternoon. But usually the way this works is I start at 5 a.m. every morning, I go for about 6 hours, I take a break for lunch, a nap, some other stuff, and I come back in the early afternoon and we do another 2 to 3 hours. When I'm playing two different games, the main game happens in the morning, and then whatever's this straggler game, the casual game, that happens in the afternoon. So if there's anything left of Tainted Grail, that'll be happening in the afternoon slots. But otherwise, the plan is Dune Awakening in both the morning and the afternoon slots from the 5th until the 13th. I will probably go a little longer and a little harder on the first 5 days since we have Head Start access, and I would like to be able to push as deep as I can to get a good selection for like my first base and everything else. So I'll probably push pretty hard those first 5 days. We might do some longer sessions the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Then on the 10th is when general release happens, and I'll probably go back to my normal schedule at that point. On the 13th, the Altars starts. Once the Altars starts, the Altars becomes the main morning session game, and Dune Awakening becomes the afternoon slot game. Then I can't remember what the date is for Death Stranding 2, like the 25th or something. Once that happens, Death Stranding becomes the main game, and Dune Awakening becomes the afternoon slot until Tales of the Shire drops. Now, this one's going to be a little tricky. When Tales of the Shire drops, I'll be doing Death Stranding and Tales of the Shire in the morning and afternoon slots, and Dune Awakening will take a little bit of a pause until I finish one of those games, and then it'll come back in. And this is going to be something that I don't anticipate being finished with in the calendar year. Based on how I've played Lord of the Rings Online and Star Wars: Age of Republic over the years, which are two of my favorite online multiplayer games that are in franchises that I love, I have thousands of hours logged in those games and I've played them since launch. I love Dune, the intellectual property, as much as I love Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. So I anticipate this being something that I continue to play for many, many years to come. So I am going to be going pretty hard and heavy from the 5th until the 13th. But excuse me, this is going to be the game that sneaks in between all of the other major releases. But I am a variety streamer and a variety content creator, so my priority is always going to be on whatever's the new releases. So once we get past that initial like 2 week run or whatever, this will just be dependent on what else I have going on. But this is going to be the main jam in between all the other releases that I play throughout the rest of 2025 and potentially into 2026 because I have no idea how long it's going to take me to get through all the content and do all the things that I want to do. So the context of my journey in Dune Awakening is that I am a solo PvE Care Bear. My primary mission is to experience the solo player versus environment arc, the storyline arc, the campaign story of Dune Awakening, along with the survival aspect of the game and the crafting of bases. I'm going to probably build two bases. I will build my first base, which will be where I do all of my major crafting and everything else, and then eventually, because I'm getting with the Ultimate Edition, I get an Atreides interior decoration set, and I am going to Atreides faction in the game. I am planning on earning my way up so that I can get the Atreides building set. Now, this is where I'm probably going to do what I did with No Man's Sky, which is that once I get my main base built, I will then open it up to people who are on my siege to come in and use the crafting stations and everything else. Which leads me to, am I going to form a guild? No, I will not be forming a guild. I neither have the time, the energy, or the inclination to manage people. I don't get paid nearly enough to manage people. I'm not soda popping with 30,000 people watching my streams, so I don't get paid enough to manage people. Um, there's only 40 people on a siege, so the only 39 other people can even join me on my siege in any case to like come do stuff with me directly on that siege. Now we can obviously do multiplayer content through invites and everything else, but um, because of that, I don't have any intentions of forming a guild. What I am going to do is make my server selection and my siege selection public, and anybody who wants to directly join my siege can. And then whenever I decide to do my big base, I will set permissions up. More than likely, it'll be people who are on my friends list will get like associate access or something so that they can come in and like use the crafting stations and things of that nature. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. Um, and then from time to time, usually probably, in the last like 2 to 3 hours of any given stream, I'll probably be like, hey guys, we're in the last 2 hours. Anybody want to meet up and go do some Imperial testing stations? Maybe we'll do some group crafting or something like that. And then we might occasionally schedule things. But my schedule is based on my day job, which is being a variety streamer and content creation, which means I'm all over the place doing lots of different things. So I can't really commit to leading a guild or managing people or any of that stuff, nor do I want to. Those days are behind me. I did that for many, many, many years, and I just have no longer any desire to do that. But I do like to do the occasional group-based content, running around and doing Imperial testing stations and stuff. I have no desire to do PvP, none whatsoever. However, I am intrigued enough by the Landsrad concept that once I get through everything that I've seen in the game, which means all of the storyline content, I've built the bases that I want to build, and I've crafted the gear that I want to craft, and we get to the point where I've earned all the faction with the Atreides, and I've got not a lot else to do but wait for the DLCs to come down the pipeline, that's when I will take a look at the Landsrad and go, okay, maybe I do want to dip my toes into the deep desert and at least focus on the PvE missions that the Landsrat is going to give. And that stuff is where I'm going to be looking to group up with other players more frequently than not to go work on those sort of late game, end game activities. So I would say those of you who want to do those together, you just need to pay attention to my server selection and my siege selection so that you can make sure you're at least in the same server group so that we can move around and group up with each other and do those types of activities later on down the road. But the immediate journey is just me going through the storyline, crafting, building. Like I said, I'll make my base open to people in my friends list and maybe beyond that, so that people can come visit and hang out and use the crafting stations and stuff. But it's going to be a fun journey. I am looking forward to this game. I've been pretty excited for this ever since it was first mentioned, and I've had a great time in the closed beta, the beta preview event, and now the beta weekend, and I'm really looking forward to launch. So looking forward to all of you joining along in the journey. So make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. And don't forget to check out the Dune Awakening playlist down below where I have a ton of guides I've already created, and I'm going to be creating more guides as we continue up to the launch of the game and then beyond. There's also some affiliate links down below which I directly benefit from if you decide to do a pre-order or something like that through the links. So full disclosure on that. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll see everybody in the next one.